When someone suddenly ignores you, what it really means and how to respond. Have you ever had someone go from being your biggest fan to acting like you don't even exist? One day, they're laughing at your jokes, making plans, replying instantly. The next, radio silence, no calls, no messages, just an empty space where their presence used to be. It's natural to wonder, did I do something wrong? Maybe, maybe not, but here's the truth. When someone starts ignoring you, it's not random, it's a choice. And more often than not, that choice has more to do with them than with you. People don't just disappear without reason. Some pull away because they no longer need anything from you. Others withdraw because your growth makes them uncomfortable. And some, they were never truly invested in the first place. But here's where you reclaim your power. You don't need to chase them, beg for answers, or demand an explanation. Real strength comes from understanding why it happens and refusing to take it personally, because the moment you shift your perspective, something changes. Instead of feeling rejected, you recognize that you're simply evolving, and not everyone can handle that. So, why do people suddenly cut you off? What does it really mean? And how can you respond in a way that leaves you stronger, not broken? Stick around, because the last reason will completely change how you see these situations. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Now, let's get started. 1. They're testing your reaction. Have you ever felt like someone was toying with your emotions? One day, they're warm, engaged, and fully present. The next, it's as if you never existed. No replies, no calls, just an eerie silence that leaves you questioning what went wrong. But sometimes this isn't about them losing interest, it's a test. Certain people use distance as a way to measure your response. They pull away not because they're genuinely busy or because they've suddenly lost feelings, but because they want to see how you'll react. They want to know, will you double text? Will you start over-explaining yourself? Will you anxiously ask, hey, is everything okay? The moment you do any of those things, you confirm what they were trying to find out. Your emotions are tied to their presence, and once they realize they can make you chase them, they've gained the upper hand. Think of it like a game of tug of war. The moment they drop the rope, by ignoring you, pulling back, or going silent, they're waiting to see if you will grab it and start pulling harder. But what if you don't pull at all? What if you simply let go? The game ends. And that's the power of not reacting. When someone's silence is meant to manipulate you and you refuse to play along, they lose their control over you. This is where stoic wisdom comes in. He who needs least from others is the most powerful. The real strength isn't in proving how much you care, it's in knowing that you don't need someone else's validation to feel secure. The more you rely on someone's attention to feel valued, the more control they have over you. But when you stop chasing, stop over-explaining, and stop feeling like you need to prove your worth, you become untouchable. I once noticed this pattern with a friend of mine. Every time I got busy, whether it was focusing on work, spending time at the gym, or simply investing in my personal goals, they would suddenly withdraw. No texts, no effort, just silence. At first, I assumed they were just caught up in their own life, but then I realized this only happened when I pulled back first. So I tested something. Instead of checking in, instead of sending casual, hey, just checking in messages, I did nothing. And guess what? A few days later, they reappeared, acting like nothing had ever happened. Suddenly, they were engaged again, interested, present, as if their disappearance had been on a timer set to expire the moment they realized I wasn't going to come looking for them. That's when I understood. This wasn't about them being genuinely busy. This was about testing whether I would run after them. And because I didn't, they lost the upper hand. How to handle this situation? Recognize the pattern. If someone consistently pulls away and expects you to chase, it's not an accident, it's a strategy. Don't take the bait. If their silence is meant to get a reaction, the best thing you can do is give them nothing. Stay calm, keep your dignity, and continue living your life as if their presence or absence makes no difference to you. Remember your worth. Real connections don't require mind games. The right people won't test you just to see how much you care. They won't force you to prove your loyalty by making you chase them. 2. They no longer benefit from you. There's nothing quite as frustrating as feeling like someone just vanished from your life. One day, they're warm, engaged, and making... Here's the truth. When you expose someone's true nature, they have only 2 choices: change or walk away, and most will choose the latter. Facing their flaws requires accountability, self-reflection, and growth, which is far more difficult than simply vanishing. Think of it like turning on a light in a dark room. In the shadows, everything appears fine, but once the light is on, you see the dust, the mess, the things that were once hidden. And once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it. That's exactly what happens when you recognize who someone truly is. The moment the truth is revealed, those who thrived in deception will resent it. They'll say, "You've changed," but what they really mean is, "You stopped letting me take advantage of you." Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." The ones who cannot handle the truth do not seek to grow. They seek to protect their illusions. Friedrich Nietzsche once put it simply, "I'm not upset that you lied to me. I'm upset that from now on I can't believe you." That is the real cost of dishonesty. Once the illusion is shattered, there is no going back. So, how do you handle this? Do not regret seeing the truth. It may be painful, but it's far better than living in deception. Let them go. If someone disappears the moment they can no longer manipulate you, they were never genuine in the first place. Stand firm in your integrity. The right people will respect your honesty. The wrong ones will run from it. At the end of the day, the truth does not destroy real relationships, it only destroys the false ones. Let those who thrived in deception vanish. You are better off without them. Being ignored is a blessing in disguise. It stings when people ignore you. It makes you question what went wrong. It can make you feel unappreciated, invisible, or even unwanted. But here's the reality. Being ignored is not a loss. It's a filter. People who suddenly distance themselves without explanation are revealing something important. They were never truly meant to stay. Instead of seeing this as something to grieve, consider it for what it really is. A blessing in disguise. Think of a tree in autumn. It does not mourn the leaves that fall. It lets them go because shedding them is necessary for new growth in the spring. Life works the same way. Some people are seasonal. They were never meant to be a permanent part of your journey. When they walk away or stop acknowledging your presence, they are making space for the right people to enter. This is where Stoic wisdom is invaluable. Epictetus advised, "Keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." If someone can ignore you so easily, it means they never truly valued you. And that's not a loss, it's clarity. History is filled with individuals who were overlooked, dismissed, or ignored, only to realize that rejection was their greatest advantage. Take Albert Einstein, for example. Many ridiculed or disregarded him in his early career, but instead of chasing validation from those who didn't see his potential, he remained focused on his work. Eventually, the world couldn't ignore him anymore. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right recognition found him because he stayed true to his path. So how do you handle this? Do not regret seeing the truth. If someone was willing to discard you so easily, it's better that you found out now rather than later. Let them go. If someone disappears when you no longer serve their purpose, they were never meant to stay. Stand firm in your worth. The right people will value your presence, not just what you can do for them. At the end of the day, rejection does not define your worth, it refines it. Let those who were never meant for your journey drift away and trust that life will bring the right people in at the right time. Your growth, your truth, and your self-respect will naturally filter out the wrong people. And that's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Those who leave were never truly aligned with your future. Those who stay, those who support, and those who rise with you, those are the people who matter. Keep evolving and let the right ones walk alongside you.